This is the Eye for an Eye channel. Welcome to today's show. You know, too often on this channel I get criticized for being so doom and gloom, so negative, not talking about some of the positive things going on in the world, right? There's not many, obviously. Not many at all, but people continually get on me, and I guess that's because a lot of Christians want, a lot of this nice stuff. They want to feel good. They're sick and tired of me always pointing at the negative. So I thought I would read from the Daily Mail this really heartwarming story that I had heard. It's so heartwarming that some of you, you're going to be on the edge of your seats. Some of you probably should get tissues and weep. You will weep. Get tissues to wipe your eyes from the beauty of the story, because it's one of those stories that really will just make your stomach grumble and will make you need to reach for the closest box of Imodium that you have. And the title of the story is, An Author Comes Out as a Transgender Man After His Wife Came Out as Trans Woman, and the pair, who have a trans daughter, now live in a four-way open relationship with their trans lovers. Oh! Everybody out there okay? Did you follow all that? It's a heartwarming tale, isn't it? It's a tale so insanely beautiful that it can only happen in the year 2023, that we read something like this and we take it as truth, and we don't go to the home of these people and immediately get out handcuffs and bring them where they belong, which is inside of a paddy wagon, to be brought to an institution where there's only white walls in the room, and to put a couple of locks on that door, and to maybe feed them through the crack of the door, but to probably never let them out, because this is a problem, right? Oh no, it's a wonderful world, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm just a negative Nancy all the time. That's why I'm covering this story, because it's a wonderful story. So, an author has come out as a transgender man after his husband transitioned. Isn't it amazing that it's just all these people who think that they're born a certain way just happen to be completely insane? Right? I mean, look, for anyone out there that's got a problem with what I'm saying, I'll just point it out really fast. How come you can identify with somebody's preferences in the bedroom based on how they talk and how they dress? Because they're a different species. They've been created out of the Tavistock Institute. They've been taught how to behave and how to talk, and you would never and should never know what someone's preference is behind closed doors based on how they talk. But we do know that. You could see somebody in the street and be like, well, he's a blank male, right? And then you never think to yourself, well, wait, how do I know what he's into? Why does he act like that? What does that have to do with anything? Because they're not real. They've been created, okay? They've been created, and that's the real mental health problem. And they know this, obviously, because they've done this. And then they tell you the people with the mental health problems are the people like you and me. So, an author has come out as a transgender man after his husband transitioned from male to female. And the couple now live in a four-way relationship with their trans lovers. That's really romantic. Makes your heart melt. Rowan Jetnox, formerly known as Amanda Jetnox, announced on his social media in August that he was reintroducing himself as a trans man. The Toronto-based writer and activist, who started taking testosterone earlier this week, follows in the footsteps of his husband turned wife and son turned daughter. So everybody following at this point? It's one insane person with another insane person, another insane person, another insane person, and it's a beautiful family, as you can see from the photograph here. Nothing wrong. Homeowners, by the way. I mean, anybody have a war pitchfork out there? Anybody? I mean, come on, please help. Knox's wife Zoe was previously known as Mark, but came out as transgender in July 2015 after 19 years of marriage. The pair's daughter Alexis revealed that she was transgender in early 2014. So the parents are doing a wonderful job, obviously, inside of this home. No need to call, anybody to come and check in on, you know what I mean? No need to call social services here. Rowan says he too was born in the wrong body, but that it took a long time to come to terms with his true gender. Rowan and Zoe live with their transgender parents, Danny and Dame, in the same Toronto house. And of course, Toronto's the location, right? Because, the guy who's in charge up there is one of them. Guy should be arrested so fast that, faster than you could ever possibly imagine farting. That's how fast we should get Trudeau behind bars. He is the absolute worst. But let's continue with this heartwarming story. Rowan describes the unusual relationship as polycule. He previously shared his delight at realizing he was non-binary before coming out as transgender, and told Pink News Trans joy is infectious. Yes, and so is utter insanity. Look at these. Oh man, it's just another species. It's another species. In a post to his Instagram account, the writer said, "It is with joy, relief, and a fair amount of anxiety that I'm reintroducing myself to you as Rowan Jet Knox. I'm a trans man, am medically transitioning, and will be exclusively using he/him pronouns going forward." He continued, "I'm a trans man, am medically transitioning, and will be exclusively using he pronouns." Okay, they repeated that line. "I've known this is who I am for a long time now, but I had to work up the courage to say it out loud." It's hard to be crazy, I guess. "It took months of introspection therapy, long chats with loved ones, plenty of tears, and pushing through a lot of fear and denial to get here." In an article published last month, Knox wrote that he and Zoe had started a polyamorous relationship with another transgender couple named Danny and Dame. Knox wrote about first meeting Danny last year, reaching out to her to talk about an experience she had. I love how this is how funny, you got to give credit to the CIA and the elites, that we live amongst this, which they've created. And then these people are empowered to vote and things like that. In a real sane society, these people would have no right to vote. They really would have no rights at all, because they would be in an institution. When they talk like this is when you should be institution. I mean, you guys look at the pictures of the people. They're completely, absolutely, utterly insane human beings, but they're not really humans, so we can't call them that either, can we? Okay, according to Knox, the two okay, I'm sorry. Let me go back here too. Knox wrote about his first meeting Danny last year after reaching out to her to talk about an experience she had. According to Knox, the two bonded immediately in a way I rarely do these days. Before deciding they'd fallen in love. Oh man. Knox says the two then encouraged their spouses to get to know one another. Dame and Zoe then also this is what a romance story, right? This is like when Harry met Sally. Dame and Zoe then also started falling for one another. Knox and her wife then decided to relocate from their hometown of Ottawa to Toronto in January of this year to start a new life as a four-way couple. It is unclear if Knox was known as Rowan at the time he met Danny, but he had said in his coming out post that he had been Rowan to his loved ones for a good while now. He wrote, "It didn't take long before we all realized that we're insane. I mean, we all realized that being apart more than we were together was too painful." That's right. Well, we could put the four of them in a room somewhere so then they could still be together. So, you don't end up killing each other because they're already insane. But, don't worry about that. That would probably help the world be a better place. He wrote, "It didn't take too long before we realized being apart more than we were together was too painful. The 2 weeks we spent between visits felt like months. After much conversation and with careful planning, Zoe and I had something I had sworn I would never do. We picked up stakes and moved to Toronto to start a new life with new loves." Look at this family. Oh, it's so beautiful. It really makes my heart just melt to mush. And by mush, I mean turn to diarrhea. The fact that our children were now grown and our jobs were remote made the transition easier, as did a painful period of growth I had undergone a few years earlier. I'm just sorry. I'm looking at pictures of the couple. It's really just heartwarming. Oh man, I'm glad I could finally do a positive story for everybody out there. It's just me. It's not, it's my take on the world, folks. That's what I get told. It's me. I'm looking at all the negative. So I had to cover something positive so you could realize the world's a beautiful place. Zoe and Rowan also have, get this, a transgender daughter, Alexis, who came out when she was in 6th grade. Nothing wrong with that. This is great parenting. 6th grade came out, right? Didn't even hit puberty yet. Probably haven't even figured out what a tissue is. Still picking your nose and wiping on your bedpost. But, it's okay to castrate yourself at 6. Alexis came out, or 6th grade, excuse me. Alexis came out to her parents as transgender in February 2014 when she was still 11 after sending them an email. Alexis and Rowan, who was then known as Amanda, participated. Everybody following still? Alexis and Rowan, who is still known as Amanda, participated in a video series organized by Microsoft titled My 24 Hours. Well, of course Microsoft would have their hand in this. Of course Phil would be involved. Speaking about the decision to come out on the series, Alexis said, I've always have a very accepting home. We never force gender roles. No, not at all. This is naturally occurring that everyone's lost their minds. Sending an email was just the easiest way for me because I was pretty scared of what my parents would think. It's a really hard thing to do when you honestly don't know. Rowan had previously published a blog post in 2020 about Alexis coming out, saying when she came out to us at 11, she had limited language and described how she felt, and the world was much more binary thinking back then. This is utter beauty. It's a thing of beauty, folks. A thing of beauty. Now at 17, she's able to express how she sees herself more easily. She wanted us in the world to know that her identity isn't binary. Not only did she tell us this news, but she also updated her social media bios and has been talking about it openly with everyone. Rowan and Zoe also have 2 sons, as well as Alexis. Knox had previously penned an article for Pink News about how trans joy was infectious. Yeah, as infectious as an STD. Trans joy is infectious, and right now the world needs more of it. Make no mistake, in today's world, trans joy is an act of defiance and defiance. You couldn't be more formulated if you're one of these people. You're literally your product that they've created in a laboratory, and now you are living it out. Okay? This is not I love how they think it's some type of rebellious act. Just like these people who dress up, with satanic shirts and they join the Satan. They're like, we're rebellious. Are you? You are the norm. Completely insane, utterly psychotic people being promoted. But it's not going to last forever, because when crap hits the fan, which is what most of these people want anyway, I mean, you think we're going to sit around and allow these psychopaths to come near our homes and our families? I mean, no. And I won't feel any remorse. You know why? I mean, because, you're dangerous to society. Dangerous. Very dangerous to children. Because when you're thinking like this and you're acting like this, well, we know what this means. We know what this means if you're alone in a room with a child. Let's all be honest. We all know with these people's kids, this one that came out, I mean, I can't even say it, obviously, because I'll get thrown off the internet. But I mean, it's abuse. It's abuse, and it's sick. But this is heartwarming, folks, so I don't know what I'm talking about. I meant to say the whole thing's heartwarming. Duh. I mean, clearly I'm a bigot. I am so happy to hear such wonderful stories of wonderful people who have found out who they truly are. And then, of course, in a couple of weeks, they'll change their genders again and their names again, because they'll never be satisfied, never figure out that there's something wrong with them. They think that it's normal. That's why, it's always normal when you have to cry about it for weeks before you do it, like was mentioned in this article. Like, had to cry and had to talk to people. Tried to talk yourself into something completely insane because you're not stable. Yeah, that's normal to do, right? We all go through that. Huh? Folks, this is what we're living in here. Okay? This is what we're living in. As crap continues to hit the fan. Now, you wonder what's scariest about it is the insane people literally think that they're right and they're correct, that they're rebellious, that this is who they really, it's very clever. You got to give the CIA credit for that. I mean, the fact that they've literally somehow we're talking about this like this is normal. Like, these are articles that are out there. Obviously, this is how it all works with Operation Mockingbird and everything else that they've done and created and pushed onto all of us. But literally, like, you gotta just give them credit for, I guess, having the balls to go forward with this. Like, nobody was like, hey, no one's gonna fall for this. And now we have like Congress debating this stuff and giving more rights to that. And obviously, we all know how this ties into bagel communism and the rights of all of us being taken away, because that's really what it's about. It's about censorship and free speech being removed. So they use insane things like this, which nobody should be on board with, to begin taking our rights away and creating new laws, hate laws, etc. And it's all to protect these sick elites from from all of us and from criticism, etc., etc. And these people who are insane, they'll never realize what's actually going on, ever. So there's no point of even trying. There's no point of even trying about the magic potion. There's no point, because these people are long gone. They've left reality a long time ago. The ship of reality has sailed a long time ago, and they didn't only miss the boat. I mean, they went in the boat was boarding in California, where most insanity resides, and those people were headed towards the boat, but then they realized that they drove all the way to New York. That's how far away they are from reality. They went in the wrong direction, and they continue to go it. They're pretty much just drowning at sea at this point. And this is what we're living among, where we have newspaper articles about an author coming out as a transgender man after his wife came out as a trans woman, and a pair who have a trans daughter now live in a 4-way open relationship with their trans lovers. That is a atomic bomb inside of my head going off, ladies and gentlemen. So, beautiful world. Stay positive, everybody. Stay positive. A reminder, please subscribe to my backup channels. There's a good chance this gets a strike, because I don't know why it would, because I'm obviously I am fully on board with this stuff. This is wonderful. It's heartwarming. But, in the event that the algorithm misreads what I'm saying, because that's the only way I would get a strike for anything, is if it misreads me, because I am on board with all of this great, sane stuff. But anyway, in the event that I do, please subscribe to my backup channels now if you haven't. And please consider joining the website uprisingrevival.com if you haven't as well. I thank everybody for being here. You guys are great. You're great. I hope you feel that warm feeling in your stomach, and I hope that it's not the feeling of diarrhea and vomit mixing together. I hope it's the real warm feeling about what a wonderful world we're living in. I thank you for being here, everybody. God bless all of you as always, and your families.